Berserk, Chapter 17, Casca, Chapter 3. Everything changed that day. How I thought, how I lived, everything. From a life continually endured to a life fighting to succeed. The paltry dining table by the fire with family around became a glorious battlefield adjoined by death and blood. Since that day, the day I met Griffith, even now, I feel like it's been one long dream. Back then, I idolized Griffith. He was like some prophet or a saint. In effect, that's what he was to us. We were a ragtag band of commoners with no backing, ever victorious on the battlefield, fighting for some miracle. And most importantly, leading us was a young man who could still be called a boy in his innocence, when in reality, he wasn't a noble or a knight, but a commoner like the rest of us. A miracle. Yes, in my eyes, that's exactly what Griffith was. At that time, the Hawks became involved in a certain feudal lord's dispute. After a while, I somehow carved out a life as a soldier. The feudal lord was said to be a man of fame, a wealthy man intimately involved in sovereign affairs. But the worst rumors of him didn't involve his assets, rather his sordid taste. As attendants, he would implore children from neighboring village, nearly all boys who met his taste. In truth, they were imprisoned in that castle as pleasure slaves. They would be at his side, children with vacant eyes of fear. I guess in these days, that's not such a strange sight, but to be honest, it sent chills down my spine. A heart-rending sense of fear and disgust. I had almost become like that once. But just like that time, by putting his hand on my shoulder, just from that, I mysteriously stopped trembling. Afterwards, following several skirmishes, he was a boy who had joined the band of Hawks a half year before then to train to become a soldier. He was about 10 years old and I don't know his name. He didn't really stand out enough to be noticed. There was no one to recognize the nameless remains of this soldier in training among the countless fallen. That is, no one but Griffith. Griffith, what's that? This boy's belongings. Griffith, a toy on the battlefield? It was a toy knight, scuffed, dirty, and missing a leg. He must have greatly admired knights. I remember him well. He would gaze at me as if I were the hero of some story. I wonder if he was happy, dreaming. Did he die enchanted by his dream? Or was death the end of his dream? Was it despair? Maybe my dream is what killed this boy. I couldn't find words to speak. I'd never seen Griffith like that before. Never so somber. Ever since then, I started viewing Griffith differently. Then one evening upon returning to the castle, Griffith! Griffith! What? Hey, You're kidding, right? You mean master of balls and pride? Come dawn that morning, I couldn't sleep. I was wandering along the river of the castle. Why not join me? It feels nice. Am I dirty? No. Why were you alone with him before? You're right, my mistake. Last night, a war council or something. So, no, you are not mistaken. Why? Why would someone like him? Money. An army consumes so much money just being. Men, horses, equipment, and provisions. None of it is free. And the band of the hawk will grow larger and larger as it has to. For that, we need large amounts of war funds. In any case, I seemed to appeal to that old man, and I was interested in his fortune. Our interests seemed to coincide. Yeah, but still, aren't we doing well enough at this rate? If we just keep winning, we'll eventually raise enough. It will take too long. Besides, with every battle fought, I will lose more troops. Griffith, is this because of that boy? No. I thought about it logically. To go to battle 10 times and lose hundreds of soldiers, or to seduce one old man, which is the lesser risk? Casca, listen. I don't at all feel responsible for my comrades that have lost their lives under my command. I guess it is because they themselves have chosen to fight. Griffith, that's just the way I am. But if for the sakes of the dead, if there's something I can do. Griffith, blood. That thing is to win, and I'll keep winning to fulfill that dream to which they cling, putting their lives on the line. Griffith, stop it! My dream can only be realized by building upon their corpses. It's a blood-smeared dream, after all. Stop! I have neither regret nor remorse about that, but for hundreds of thousands of lives to hang in the balance, and myself alone not to be unclean. What I want won't enter my grasp as easily as that. Stop! Stop it! Just stop! I'm alright. It's nothing. The Griffith who turned around to put his hand on my shoulder was the same Griffith as ever once more. Just then, that filled my heart with sadness. Griffith persists in trying to realize a kind of dream that most people would abandon long ago as childish yearning. But the dream he's chasing is so genuine and extraordinary that the burden must be immeasurable. A strong person. It's simple just to sum it up with those words, but I think that someone who wants to accomplish something so grand endures that much more than other people. It's not that he is strong. It's that Griffith has to make himself strong. I want to be by his side. If he's going to sacrifice everything for his dream, if his dream is to fight and cut away his own path, then I want to be his sword. To be continued.